Okay, welcome back. Now in the last video, we went through different data types in Pandas, series and data frames, creating some series in a data frame, importing data, and then exporting data. Now we're going to look at different ways you can describe data in Pandas. So we'll make a little heading here. Remember to do that. You can type some Markdown. If you've never seen Markdown before, you can do some research. But to create a heading, you can do two little hashtags, and this we'll press Escape and M, Shift Enter. Now we've got describe data in a nice little heading format. This is a great way to break up Jupyter Notebooks so it's communicative. Okay, so the way you call functions, we've already seen this on an example here, to CSV on Pandas data frames, is by pressing the dot notation. So if we go tab, it might show us, there we go, took a little while and I got impatient and pressed tabbed a lot. It'll show us a few functions here that we can run, but remember there's a lot here. So in the beginning, don't focus on trying to learn all of these off by heart. Just focus on using the few that we're going through at the moment and then build upon your knowledge as you go. So the first thing we're going to have a look at is how to describe the data types in our data frame. We can do this by typing in D types. So you'll notice some functions have brackets after and some don't. Like this one doesn't have brackets over it. The difference between these two is this is an attribute. So we type in here attribute, whereas a function like car sales to CSV is a function. So the difference between an attribute and a function is this is going to perform some steps, whereas D types, which is an attribute, is just some meta information which is stored about the car sales data frame. So that's the two main things to remember here, with the difference between an attribute and a function. We don't want to run this line of code, so we'll comment that out, but we do want to see the D types. So let's do that. Hitting Shift Enter. Now this will tell us some information about our car sales data frame columns. So it's got a make column. Let's view it up here. Make, color, odometer, doors, price. That's our column names. So this is going to tell us the type of our make column is an object, color is an object, odometer is an int, doors is an integer, and price is also an object. Let's have a look at some other things we can do with our data frame. Carsales.columns. Now, is this a function or an attribute? It doesn't have brackets, so it's an attribute. So this is going to tell us our column names. It's going to return it as a list. So you could go car columns equals carsales.columns. Hit Shift Enter, and now you've got your column names stored as a list. So you can perform some operations on this list and then use that later on to manipulate your data frame. But this is just how you access two of the main types of attributes from your data frame. Let's have a look at something else. What about the indexes? So we go car columns.index. Has no attribute index. Oh, because we typed in car columns, we want our car sales data frame. There we go. Beautiful. So this is going to say, let's view the data frame here, car sales. This is going to say the range of the index starts at 0 and stops at 10. Step is 1. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that makes sense. Now we've gone through a few different attributes of our data frame. Let's have a look at some of the functions we can call. Remember, the main difference between a function and an attribute is one doesn't have brackets, attributes don't have brackets, and functions are going to perform some kind of operation. So the first one we'll have a look at is describe. Now there we go. What describe does is gives us some statistical information about our numeric columns. You might notice, why isn't price coming up here as a numeric column? So we've got odometer. That means there's 10 columns as count. The mean is 78,601. So the odometer is how many kilometers a car might have done. And then number of doors, the count is 10, meaning there's 10 rows with doors as a column. And the mean is 4. Standard deviation is that 0.471405. We've got percentiles here, min and max. but no price. Well, if we come back up here, we can see that the odometer is an integer value and the doors are also an integer value, but the price is an object. Now that's interesting. Maybe when we imported it from our CSV, this cell is formatted differently to these cells. Don't worry, we'll have a look at that in a future video. But something to keep in mind is that describe works on only numeric columns. So let's have a look at something else. Maybe we want info. carsales.info. And now it's important to remember that these type of description functions and attributes are some things that you might run through at the very start of exploring a new set of data. So that's what we're doing. We're pretending we've got car sales here, and we want to start running functions like info and describe to just start exploring our data and getting some information about it. So what's this going to give us? Let's have a look. Range index, 10 entries, 0 to 9. Now, info is kind of like index combined with D types. And so remember, Pandas has many different ways to do similar things. So as you go through and work through, learn more about the library, you'll kind of find a pattern that works for you best. I'm just showing you a broad collection of different useful functions you can use throughout any type of data analysis. What this is going to tell us is that the make column has 10 non-null objects, 10 non-null objects for color, same again for the rest of the columns. There's 2 D types for int64. Yep, that makes sense. int64, int64, and 3 for object. Okay, and it's not using very much memory. All right, let's keep going. Car sales, you can call statistical analysis on your data frame. So carsales.mean will give you the average of your numerical columns. Remember, price doesn't show up here because it's an object, not a numerical column. You can even call mean on individual series. So let's make a series called car prices equals pd.series 3000. Let's pretend that this is our car prices, that they're not in object format, they're in integer format. And then we go car prices.mean, car princes. I wish I was a car prince. There we go. So that's going to give us the average of these 3 numbers here. So it's pretty high there, 38,583, because we had this big value. That's a car prince car right there. Next one we can have a look at is sum. So we can go carsales.sum. This is going to sum up all of the different columns values. So this is just really combined what's in the make column, what's in the color column. It's totaled up how many odometer there is, how many doors there are. It's not really useful calling it on the whole data frame, so maybe we do it on a single column. Now to select a single column, we'll go through this in the selection video, but to select a single column, just to demonstrate it here, doors.sum, you type in the name of the column in square brackets as a string, and then call .sum, hit Shift Enter, and now that's just going to bring the sum down here. Now you can do a fair few different versions of this statistical, like not just sum, you can go mean, median, and a bunch of others. So I'd suggest if you're practicing, try out a few different statistical functions. Even look up the Pandas documentation for different statistical measures you can call on different columns. And then finally, if you want one last bit of information about your data frame is length. So the reason you might want this is, say your data frame's 200,000 rows and you only wanted to work on a few thousand for an exploratory data analysis, you could figure out the length of the data frame you're currently working on by passing it to len. And we can see that there's 10 rows in our data frame. We have a look at it one more time. Beautiful. And that's nice and correct. Okay, so that's the end of this describing section. What you could probably do is go through, practice running the code yourself, and then see if there's any other functions here that you want to try out. Maybe create your own series like this, and then see what statistical values you can find out about your series. But without further ado, I'll see you in the next lecture, and we'll look at how to differently view data and select data.